Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, or whenever it is that you're watching this. It's science fiction and fantasy author Michael Lauck, and I am recording this on a Saturday morning, August 5th. And that's important because I'm recording this because I've got nothing to do. There aren't any Saturday morning cartoons anymore, and that bothers me. I think it's a sure sign that America is coming to a sad end. But we'll get to that in a minute. I've done this about 8 times already. Hopefully my ranting is out of the way. But I want to round up a few other things. First of all, if you're in the Kansas City area, especially if it's still Saturday, the Lee Summit Tribune had a really nice third-page feature on me relocating to Lee Summit and my new book, The Heist, which is the first of my science fiction series, The Black Sky Rangers. It might be on their website. I don't know. It's too early to know for me yet. I don't know what's going to happen with it. But I want to thank the Lee Summit Tribune for doing that because, hey, publicity is always great for a self-published author. And, if you're in the area, check it out. And I guess, please go by Amazon, check out my books, or go by my website and check out some of the free stuff, swordsandrayguns.com or Amazon. The Heist. If you like space westerns, it's for you. 2, some people got to me through Facebook and email and stuff last week pointing out the big art. What about the Master? The Master's a woman, so Time Lords can... Okay, 2 things. There was a discussion earlier, a couple years ago, about maybe as one of the actors was leaving and they were finding a new Doctor. As Peter Capaldi came in, maybe Doctor Who could be a woman now. Maybe it's time for Doctor Who to be a woman. Didn't happen. Obviously, and one of the things people pointed out was, well, we've never seen this happen with Time Lords before, so it happened with the Master. They were just setting this up as a possibility. I mean, they did that, and it was kind of too late for me. A. B. The Master is a non-standard case because he stole the body of the father of Nyssa, who was from Traken, not a Time Lord. Had a non-Time Lord body. He's stealing people's bodies, so the rules don't apply to him, and that guy's nutty. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go back to Fifth Doctor, the early 80s. Specifically, I believe the story is The Keeper of Traken. Check that out, and you will see what I mean, because the Master used to be all gnarly and look like novelty vomit with a face. I'm not making that up either. Look that up if you don't know what I'm talking about. And then the thing that's been really getting me off course before we talk about Saturday morning cartoons, which I'm going to get to in a minute, I promise. The whole Heather Antos Marvel editor, Make Mine Milkshake thing really bothers me. Look, Heather Antos put a picture on Facebook, if you don't know what I'm talking about, and I think I'm pronouncing her name correctly. If I'm not, I apologize, ma'am. Her and some of her friends, all young women who work at Marvel, it's the Marvel Milkshake crew, they were getting milkshakes at lunch or after work or whatever. And there was a lot of crap thrown at her. This is what's wrong with Marvel, and the fake geek girls. That was something I saw, repeated a lot in the news stories about it. And there are a couple things that bother me about it. First of all, the easiest one to deal with, women totally have a place in science fiction and fantasy, and they put out great science fiction and fantasy. I don't know if you're familiar with some luminaries like D.C. Fontana. Had a huge influence on a little show called Star Trek you might have heard of. There's Andre Norton, the Ursula Le Guin, just so many. I'm not going to just do a laundry list of women in science fiction and fantasy, and I'm not even getting to comic books and artists. And if you think women don't have a place in science fiction and fantasy, you're an idiot. End of story. There, we're done with that. The other thing that bothers me, because I see this more and more in this kind of new generation of science fiction and fantasy fans, is this whole rabid attraction to a certain fandom and feeling like, I've seen statements many times like, well, if you don't cosplay, you're not actually a fan. And if you don't, and it's like, you don't have to wear everything on your chest at all times. I wear comic book stuff a lot. It's cheap right now. It's easy. I'm a casual guy. I wear a lot of t-shirts. I wear a lot of plain black t-shirts too, though. And I wear a lot of band t-shirts as I can, get bands that I think are cool. It's fine, but I don't feel like I have to define myself every day by what, if I'm not wearing a Superman logo today, I'm not really a Superman fan. No, dude, whatever. You're like the people who cover the back of their cars with bumper stickers. You're insane. If you want to put time into making a costume, and like that's fun for you, and you want to, that's awesome. I mean, do it. I think that's cool. That's great. You see somebody who's at a convention or something, and it's like, wow, man, that is like Harley Quinn brought to life. That's amazing. And people who like make cool Borg costumes and stuff. I mean, if that's what you want to do, go for it. But not everybody does, and it doesn't make them less of a fan or anything else. I mean, it just makes them different. So what? I see it in a lot of things. It's like I don't understand. I'm not a big sports guy. I mean, I don't do a lot of team sports at all. I kind of follow soccer a little, but mainly I follow fighting. But I don't get baseball. When people, I don't get baseball. Period. But I don't get when people like adults can't go to the baseball game unless they're wearing their replica jersey. Dude, you're not on the team. You're not playing. You're playing dress up, and you're like 50 something years old, and that's weird to me. But anyway, all that aside, all I want to say is, go Heather Antos and you Marvel Milkshake young ladies. That's awesome. I don't have a milkshake because it's not on my doctor's prescribed diet for me, but I'm gonna buy my daughter's milkshakes in support. I promise. Now, are we finally caught up? Yeah. Saturday morning cartoons. Like I said, it's Saturday. I'm recording this because I've got time, because I've got nothing to do. There aren't Saturday morning cartoons. When I was a kid, Saturday morning was a sacred time of getting up early, getting yourself a big mixing bowl of like Lucky Charms, and even though we only had like 4 or 5, what would we have in St. Louis? 6 channels maybe, ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS, 2 independents. So yeah, there you go, 6 channels. All 3 of the major networks, Saturday morning, boom, cartoons. And the 2 independent networks had cartoons most of that time too. But definitely, they had cartoons on before and after school. Yeah, they were drilling me with advertising to get that big bowl of Lucky Charms. But they also were, showing me some really cool stuff. And I missed that. Today it's a rainy, stormy day here in Lee Summit, and you might even, there was thunder. I don't know if you heard it. It was as if on cue, but it's going to be a perfect day to not do anything but sit on my couch and watch cartoons. Unfortunately, there aren't any. I mean, yeah, I have Cartoon Network. I don't think I have Boomerang with Google Fiber. But Boomerang isn't even old cartoons anymore. It's just old Cartoon Network cartoons. And I have Nicktoons, but it's not the same. Even like 15 years ago when my kids were little, I would pick my older daughter up from daycare. She was still a baby. After I got off work, it was back when I was a sound... I was technician at Ampeg. And we'd get home and she'd be tired and I'd lay on the couch and I'd hold on to her and she'd fall asleep and I would watch after school cartoons. Batman Beyond, The Animaniacs, Jackie Chan Adventures, that was a great one. All this Kids WB stuff, which was kind of the last gasp of Saturday morning cartoons, and then the after school cartoons, and then WB folded and turned into the CW, and that stuff is gone. And I saw this week that the Animaniacs were getting revived, and it kind of hit me again with this thing that I've been thinking about lately is, where's the Static Shock? Where's the, all these great after-school cartoons that you would... Pokemon, that's still so big, that you would run home for. I know my cousin, who's substantially younger than I am, he was a kid when I was in college, and he'd come home every day and have to watch Dragon Ball on Cartoon Network, and that's all gone, and it bothers me partially because there was so much awesome fantasy and science fiction and it kind of made people fans. And I know that you know, Space 1999 and Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica and the live action shows had a huge influence on me, and then reading those novelizations had a huge impact as well. But that foundation was laid because of Saturday morning cartoons with Space Ghost. I'm going to name some of my favorite, and I want you to comment down below and tell me some of the things you remember, because maybe I'm forgetting some stuff that's awesome. But for me, Space Ghost, the Herculoids, Thundar the Barbarian. Dude, Thundar was awesome. Jason of Star Command, which was part of, there were a couple connected live action shows. If you remember that, look it up on the internets. Sometimes it bounces up on Netflix. I don't think it's there now though. But that was a cool show. And there was something else I wanted to mention. Oh, Star Trek the cartoon. That was another great one. You know, and a little later Robotech. So those are some of my favorites. What were some of yours? What are something maybe I missed because they weren't on in my area that I can find now? So comment down below. Hit me up on Facebook. Visit swordsandrayguns.com. You can email me through there. You can get some free stuff. I'm working on more free stuff, some free stories, and some other giveaways for my fans to connect with my stuff. And then always, you know, visit Amazon, Michael Lauck, The Heist, The Grand Tournament, Rise of the Mountain Tiger. Thanks for watching. Be with you soon, but please comment, connect, subscribe. Talk to you soon. Bye.